We ready? We ready?
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to our YouTube channel. This is
Braids and Beauty times 2, y'all. I'm Shayla.
And I'm Miami of this whole city up in this whole episode. And this is episode 3 of season 3.
Okay. 3.
3.
Just in case you didn't know. Okay.
Of
Monogamy,
child.
Craig Ross Jr.'s Monogamy, because we can never forget to say that. What's up, Craig Ross?
I know.
What's up?
Well, this episode, what's up, Craig Ross?
What they do? We didn't know what's happening right now.
Listen,
Okay, straight up.
I just want to say shout out to you and the whole writing staff for putting Miami on the map. Up
Kevin
here.
Foster, all the
Not for a lot of them, but Miami. We all want to thank you.
You see how she just tried it? Okay, that's fine.
We still family.
We only up the street, but okay, that's fine.
But anyway, so how are we feeling about this episode, Shay?
Look, I'm a little more in my feelings than I feel like that I was before. Like, I'm a little more in my feelings.
How do you feel?
I don't know.
Of episode 3.
Well, how could you do this to us? How could y'all do this to us, though? Okay, one, Dallas. I don't even know how to process that. Like, really?
So you're grieving?
I feel like I was grieving through the whole thing. Like, are we really talking as if Dallas is not here for real? Like,
he is not here. And I said that on episode
You did. You called it. And I really was like, no, they playing with us. He's really not gone. And I'm still going to have to hold out hopes that he's not really gone. And I feel like he was some part of this experiment too. Because I just don't believe that this man's gone. Seriously, for real. But I do have to say, Brian J. White, and this was the gentleman who played Dallas, you did an absolutely amazing job with your role. If this was really for real, that was your last role, you did an amazing job.
And
like,
thank you.
Kudos to you. Hats off to you, King. Like, seriously, you did that. Period.
Okay.
Yeah.
But so that's how you felt. So how I felt about this episode, child. It is just so bomb to see that when one life ends, a new life begins. Mm-hmm. It's also good to see in all areas, from the old character to a new character, from old life to a new life, to no life to life. Like it applies to all parts, each character, each scenario. But I just feel like, child, I'm ready for episode 4. You hear me?
For real. I need to know what's happening now.
That's what I'm feeling.
Who is he?
So, child, let's go ahead and start with the review. You good? You
okay,
ready?
Girl, I'm good. I didn't know who he is though. Real talk.
Okay.
All right.
So we're gonna open up
opening scene.
We're gonna open up with Sawyer and Maggie.
Good God.
Right, because that's who opened it up, right?
I saw it going that way, but I didn't see it going that way.
Yeah, it opened up with Sawyer and Maggie.
Yes. They were basically discussing their, they were in their little bubble. Yeah. They were back in the bubble for a moment. Yeah. Even though they weren't physically in the bubble, they were in Miami. Obviously in, the home that he and Caroline shared together. And she had literally Maggie. Yeah. Which is played by Jill Marie Jones, literally had just mentioned, how are we going to tell Caroline, which is played by Vanessa Simmons. Yeah. And Sawyer's like,
But first, let's just it opens up with them two. The energy between them two is amazing. The energy to know that they can move on and start new things is amazing. I love that how she can show him his old, like he's just interested in her, told her he loved her, like all of this stuff that I already knew about Sawyer, about Maggie child, and how Maggie told how to put down with down. You know what I mean? It's just so beautiful to see on screen. Even though I love me a Carson and Maggie, but honey, the Sawyer and the Maggie is doing it for me. You hear me? And then Caroline walks in and say,
excuse me.
What y'all doing up in here?
What's happening? What's happening here? That's exactly what she said. What's happening? You in my house. Okay, one moment. This my house. Why you here? Slut. Those are words, okay? I'm not inserting my own word. That's what she said. That's what she said.
That's what Vanessa said.
Okay.
She did say that.
And Maggie got her behind on out of there though.
Because Sawyer got her hand and walked her and escorted her.
Oh, that was the second part.
left.
She already had got out of there.
You know, Shirley got some type of feeling because, you know, Shirley is married.
You know how I feel, y'all. Y'all know.
And I'm single, so child, just listen to me. So Sawyer took her hand. Child took that hand, baby, let's go this way. And took her and escorted her through the house so that she could go to the bathroom because Caroline was like, honey, you finna go to the gas station. You talking about some bathroom up in my house. And Sawyer was like, chill out before I sit you down. Either I'm gonna sit you down or...
And Caroline said, I want you to do it. Please. Please do it.
This their wife.
Do it.
Right,
please, I want you to. Put your hands on me, please.
Anyway, moving on.
Mm-hmm.
So Caroline, we get a flashback about how bad... See, everybody was always thinking about how dads can be detrimental to little girls.
Mm-hmm.
But mothers can be detrimental to
yes,
little
they
girls
can.
as well.
And this is where we revealed that about her.
A quick flashback that happens later on in the episode, but it was just like, what was that? Her peeing, like I remember peeing her. I remember the water. Then it just zoomed back to current.
People pleaser.
Yeah,
which makes sense.
You think so?
Because remember she said, well, later on in the episode she basically said that, you know, if the baby wouldn't have been his, she probably would have never left. She would have stayed with Carson. Mm-hmm. Anyway, if it was never revealed.
But let me tell you something about Maggie though. In this episode, this opener, shout out to Maggie because she held her own. She said, "Caroline,
what you got something to say good about Maggie this one?"
Yeah.
Okay.
I was rooting for her.
Okay, Maggie. It ain't Maggie this time. It ain't Maggie.
Girl, we in a new season. This is a new year. This is a new life.
Okay, I'm just checking.
So she told Caroline, "Baby, we all grown. You made your decision. I made my decision. We made our beds to lay in. Like, get your life together, baby. You forgot what decision that you made because you wouldn't even want your little husband that I had took and slept with. Yes, I did. Hello, and your husband.
But technically, didn't they did choose each other? Correct?
Who?
Maggie and what's the name did choose each other. That's what she said.
No, Sawyer did not choose Vanessa. He did not choose her.
Oh, okay. I'm losing. It's been that far back. I thought they chose each other, and that's why they were together.
No.
Okay.
Everybody kind of still been together, right?
No, I definitely think that they chose each other. Seriously, I truly think that.
I know Sawyer did not choose no Vanessa. I mean, God, Vanessa, Lord, Caroline.
Because he said I wasn't really honest with you when we made our decision.
Sawyer did not. Caroline might have chose Sawyer, but I know Sawyer ain't choose Vanessa.
Okay.
It's no way. I mean, Caroline is no way possible. He was just in love with Maggie. You know what I mean? Which we found out that he is in love with Maggie, which I already knew he was in love with Maggie. And I just love that he's in love with Maggie, honey. And he just wants to be a daddy child. And we find out later on in the episode on why. Oh, this episode. Moving on.
I don't know. I don't like how he disrespected his wife, regardless of whether you want Maggie or not.
But he wasn't his wife because he made a decision. She made a choice. Everybody made a choice not to be there.
I still don't think he should disrespect her like that.
When you choose to move on, baby, you know how I feel about exes. Baby, when you are the ex,
you ain't the ex yet, though.
It don't matter.
It do matter. Because
things are pending to get signed.
Pending, which means they're not finalized yet.
How they done? Anyway, moving on.
Okay.
She too wifeyed up and she
Look,
too caught up in the right road.
You ain't done.
Moving on, Sensei Ray is sitting there. It opens up to Sensei Ray Payton. She's grieving Dallas. And we get introduced to a new character, honey. And I see him in the background spilling the milk. I seen him doing his little thing, wiping the milk. I seen a new face. So we knew that we was exiting of a character of Dallas, but we was
entering another character. We don't know who he is yet. Yeah. They kept going back and forth between him and her. We don't know who he is, but we want to know who he is. And
it showed how the scenes was going that they are going to be attached in some type of way because they went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
And he seemed like he was probably he was an artist too.
Yeah,
she's a painter.
He's a barista, look like, and he's a big fan of her.
Maybe not an artist, but he obviously is a fan of her. Yeah, which we learned
later on in the episode.
Yeah.
And I think he could have been an old client of hers. You know, she was about that life back then. But anyway.
You did say that. She was about that life. She was in the street. She was in the streets.
Up in the streets.
She belonged to the streets then.
She belonged to the streets.
Okay.
Future. Belonged to the streets. Okay, so it moves on to Deandra.
Yes, Deandra in the board meeting.
Let me just say something about this scene. One, I want to just give a shout out to Deandra in the no lash vibe. Like, Deandra, like, you giving me vibes that I can exist without lashes. You know what I mean? Like, what am I doing with my life? Maybe I can just not wear lashes all the time. You are not wearing, and you look amazing. So I just want to
Yes, she did.
Just
yes,
a shout out real quick. I
and that's
noticed
Christy
that.
Ferris, guys, just because y'all don't know who that is.
And I noticed that, and I was just like, you know what is it about her not having these lashes? And I love that. So I need to do more of less lash and more natural. So thank you, girl. But anyway, her in this boardroom, it gives me a flash. When I left FAMU, like, I thought that was going to be my type of position. Like, she was so powerful in that board meeting. Like, she just give the ideas. And then
But her mind was somewhere else.
Of course it was somewhere else.
Yeah,
she just lost her real...
lost Dallas.
She lost her real husband that she wanted to be with.
Okay.
Like, I think she really thought she was going to move on.
Yeah, no, she definitely thought she was moving on. Yeah, she definitely thought she had a new man, yeah.
Yeah. But for her to get the card from her Uncle Harvey...
Yeah, that was... Now you know.
That was creepy.
It's creepy as crap.
But at the same time, it's like... But then it's not even that creepy because, boo, you was just having a little situation with another man, thinking about him and, like, not thinking about him, but thinking about him like that. That whole thing to me was already...
It was creepy. Because how does man know?
The whole thing about the uncle is creepy to me because
this
it's not
man
even
keeping
about...
tabs on you.
Yeah, but you be low-key doing your little thing, thinking about him and having other men play the role of him. Like, that's...
Well, clearly she still has issues. She has some serious issues.
She has a lot of issues.
Yeah, but that is
in a car,
crazy.
She still be thinking about this man low key.
Yeah, he showed up, y'all. So we don't know how he knew where she was, and clearly he's keeping tabs on her or something. Or he's done his research since the shooting. I don't know.
Yeah, she just did the same job.
But I don't know. That's crazy.
And the next scene goes into Deandra. No. Sensoray and her haircut, baby. The haircut is fierce. I want to get my...
You look good, girl.
I want to get my wig cut. I need me a little thing. I need the glass. I need the shoulder off the...
Sensoray looked good. She did.
Sensoray was in that thing like this.
Yeah, she. You could tell she had entered a new phase.
Yeah,
she entered a new phase of her life, and she looked beautiful.
She's in her painting thing that she disclosed to Dallas in season.
She looked free and relaxed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and then of course. Connor came up in this thing and showed her, what's good. Showed her,
I'm sorry, but basically told her, look, I'm sorry, I didn't realize that I was making you feel a certain kind of way, baby, but I would never. This is Darius McCray talking, for real.
And for those who don't know what Darius McCray is.
Look, y'all know Darius McCray, okay?
And I just love that scene, how they used paint and was very sensual about
love
the paint.
language. Again, It speaks to love languages. They're gonna have to learn each other, and they understand that. And that's what I love about those two particular characters. Like, they understand that this is going to be... I'm gonna have to grow with you. We're gonna have to figure this out, but we're willing to.
Yeah.
And that scene was just so sensual and so beautiful, and it was just, again, even if painting wasn't your vibe, I was still feeling it regardless. It was dope. Good scene, great scene.
For me, I'm good.
The chemistry was there.
The paint thing just not my vibe. But hey, it's for somebody's vibe, Don't be painting on me.
It was still fine. It was fine.
Yeah.
It was.
And then it go ahead and moves on. It continues back to Deandra and Connor. Mm-hmm. It goes into them discussing about Harvey. And it also opens up Deandra talking about what she should have done before she got even married to Connor.
Yeah. Because she really judged him. She judged him. And never let that preconceived notion about him go.
And it's like, how can you... My thing was, how can you marry somebody without truly knowing them, like, for real? Like she said, like, I thought you was a drug dealer. Like, all these things I thought, and I wish I would have knew and took the time to get to know you before. And it's like, how did you... Like,
me and you were both looking at each other like... Mm-hmm.
Like, how did you marry him? Like, how did you not...
Exactly.
How are you knowing this right now? Like, after all this time?
And she's still asking, after y'all are now moving on from each other, like, who are you really, though? And it's crazy, because he was looking at her like, wow, you're finally showing interest in even who I was. Like, a little bit too late, but it's crazy that it took for all of this to happen for you to even care, really.
Yeah.
So that was a good scene too,
and that's a testament to we gotta get. I don't care if it is a 90-day wedding, like for me, like if I get engaged, I don't mind getting married in within 6 months, whatever how God orchestrated that thing. But I gotta know enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And not be wondering about the main things. If you were really a drug dealer or not a drug dealer, like that should have been like.
That should have been well known. That should have been well known. Definitely should have.
But yeah, so moving on to Carson and Caroline.
Look, Carson.
And she walked in this hotel room. And
no, that's not that part yet. So Carson,
that is that part.
No, because Carson, remember they had the scene where Carson was in the bar, and he found out about a message that was on his phone. Obviously, he's been drunk. I could probably been there for days. We don't know how long he's been there. He checked the message, and it was like an infinity sign with symbols, and obviously he knows it has something to do with the experience. Too, I think. With the experiment. I said the experience. Lord Jesus.
It did actually open with Carson at the bar. That's my bad.
At the bar,
I missed that part. Like, it opened with him at the bar, drunk. He didn't have no charger. Yeah. We heard the voicemail. We knew it was something. And then it flashed to Maggie and Sawyer.
Yes.
My bad.
So now going back to what you were saying.
When he called her drunk.
When he called Caroline drunk.
Yeah.
He called Caroline drunk, and Caroline don't want to hear nothing about this experiment.
Get your slutty wife with my
Those
husband.
are her words. Her words.
And I was just like, what you mean his slutty wife? What about your slutty husband too? Because your husband, it took two. It wasn't just one. And anyway, your husband actually initiated with Matt.
Most certainly did.
So wasn't Maggie all Maggie just trying to be out here just taking people's husbands? Yeah. Because
he was a willing participant.
Willing was on Maggie, head rapping all. Sawyer, I feel like Sawyer was like
good. Head rapping all.
Girl, Sawyer was hot and
hair rapping all.
I wanted to say, like, Caroline, like, how was he so pressed for this lady? Like, what was life before he got, like, what was going on?
But I think again, in their exchange earlier in the episode, she was actually throwing everything but the kitchen sink at him, trying to realize,
we talked about it.
Yeah,
in
like
season 2 review.
And he was just like, look, I told you what I wanted in our relationship, and you just weren't willing. Now you are. Now that I'm, falling for somebody else, like.
And sometimes you don't know what you got into is gone.
It's gone, yeah.
And you don't know what's happening until somebody start going somewhere else, and you be taking stuff for granted.
Yeah.
And all of this stuff. You know what I mean? Like, before, like we said in another season 2 review, how she didn't support nothing else outside of fighting for him.
And that's how he felt. She didn't
support the baby thing. She didn't support none of that.
Even though she obviously felt differently. He felt, she wasn't listening. Yeah. And it was clear that now at this point, Maggie just over it. She don't want to hear nothing about this experience. Like, nothing. This experience took her life, basically.
Maggie or Caroline?
I'm sorry, Caroline. Don't want to hear nothing. Nothing about this experiment.
Yeah.
Nothing.
And then next scene goes to Deandra and Caroline, honey, about this opportunity that she got in the board meeting. And her coworkers was like, what can we do to up the female presence, the strong female? And she was like, I know somebody in mind. As soon as she said it, I already knew.
We already knew it was going to be Caroline.
Yeah, I already knew it was going to be Caroline. So Deandra and Caroline meet up at a coffee shop, and they're talking about things. Deandra presents the opportunity for Caroline, and then it goes into what happened between you and Sawyer, though.
Yeah, like I'm worried about you, girl, and thank you for the opportunity. But what about are you good? And what happened with you? Let me let you know that I know about you and my husband, because I just want to know why you ain't tell me.
See, there, your husband been everywhere. Your husband went with Maggie. The husband with the husband for the street. With Deandra.
So it seems.
Child was the husband with Sense of Race. What I want to know.
Oh, please, let's not go there.
But anyway, so they talk about that.
Yes, and she reveals that
within 3 months of them dating, not only did Sawyer give her the key, honey, not only was Sawyer cooking for her, honey, not only was Sawyer greeting her at the door like, what's up, baby? How was your trip?
How was your trip? Like a married man would do.
In 3 months.
And she was really like dismissing him, like, why are you doing all of this? Like, she was literally dismissing him.
Yeah, because what she had done, and come to find out, she had an abortion.
Which is what we've been trying to figure out. What was his
Why was he so angry with her?
Why did he not, like, he didn't want to have nothing to do with her. Get out my face, like, period.
Yeah. Episode 2, in that hospital room, with that door closed, child, he was not having it with her. Like, he was.
And we should have figured that part. We should have figured that out.
I didn't know it was no abortion, though.
We should have figured it was something along that level when we realized that they had been intimate.
Yeah, but we know that it was something deep. We just didn't know if it was like business wise. Maybe she burnt him business with the whole gym. Like we didn't know, but to know how he just reacted on this doggone episode about his baby without him having a consent.
You murdered. That's what he said. You murdered my kid. And she looking at him like, almost like, why do you care? And I didn't think you would care. Like, we're not no real, like, this was a one night stand that turned into something longer than it was supposed to be. I didn't think you cared.
Care like that for me to present it. He was like, it doesn't.
Like, you didn't even have the decency to tell me that you were making a decision about not just your kid, my kid. Like,
it tells you the character of Sawyer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Even though, and when I was watching it, I was like, see, that type of person, and when he said he was born and raised in Miami, he already had no.
You should have seen her.
We
here with it.
Because we are so real. We are so upfront. Yeah. What you see is what you get.
Yeah.
And he didn't hide. He didn't sugarcoat. He told her how, like, even after she was telling him, "You 6 years younger than me."
He like, so
okay, so what? And
I told you all the
kept embracing everything she was saying. Mm-hmm. He allowed her to speak, but he was always upfront with her. And that right there, being real to me, you always get all the points for me.
Yeah,
he was real. He wasn't hiding nothing.
Yeah.
Unlike a Connor.
A Connor. Yeah.
I mean Carson.
Well, no, not Connor. Yeah, Carson. Sorry. Yeah.
And a Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
Like.
He was
this episode.
Yeah,
I already knew last episode I was gonna like.
No,
Sawyer.
He was definitely
This episode, he was so real.
He was real. You got to see a deeper I felt like you really understood what his issue was in his marriage and kind of how he was going with that and why he was so happy about the kid with Maggie. Like. Yeah. That his reaction, which I said, well, the acting there was amazing because he's doing amazing. He was, he was like, he's not trying to be a man to be tougher, but he was like, I can't help but show you like what this means to me, and now we know why it meant so, it meant so much. So because he also told us about his background with his father.
Yeah, and then he wants to see how that's gonna play out within himself along his kids. So it's just, it was just so healthy to see a black man and just a man in general try to step up, no matter if it was 3 months or 3 weeks. Yes. He wanted to be a part, and you don't see that a lot in these communities.
No,
like
you do not.
Like, oh, you pregnant child, get rid of that baby right now.
Okay,
you know what I mean. So to know that he had that emotion, even though the baby is gone. Yeah, just to know he had the emotion there to want to be a part was.
He needed the strength because he was gonna put hands on her. She not let that house
baby,
quick.
That was so Miami. Shout out to you, honey. You character the whole city.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
And I can vouch for my city and say, job well done.
Yeah,
job well done. So
for real.
And then also it shows too, like, how long should you tell somebody if you were pregnant? Like, that's going to be tonight for our podcast. But, like, how long should you be able to tell somebody if you were pregnant from a one night stand? Should you tell them or not?
Okay.
I mean, should the decision be? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but anyway.
Yeah.
So it fast forwards a whole year and a half later. We fast forward from that moment all the way a year and a half later with Carson and Caroline. And Carson is in his room, honey, going back to the old Carson with gray hair and all. Like, he had gray hair. I was just like, who is
Carson,
this man?
Mr. Wesley Jonathan. Okay.
With this white girl on the floor.
Okay, so Caroline.
That today, police come in the room. Child, you are going to jail under the jail.
Like, okay.
Like, what is
so
going
he's
on?
obviously in a room, y'all, and he a knock is at the door, and at the door is Caroline, who's trying to get in and check on him.
Yeah, as a friend.
He's not letting her in.
Yeah,
because obviously he knows something she don't know.
Yeah.
So she, forces her way into the room and finds a young lady who's obviously he's dominating in the room. The lady's obviously scared. She's hurt. But she also obviously was consenting to whatever was happening.
Yeah, because her attitude was like,
okay, so where my money at?
Child, and the wad was this big, baby. The wad was this big in the envelope, baby. What are you paying? I want to know. Look, hey, writers.
Yeah, I want to know.
How much is this? Not to say I'm going to put myself in that predicament. I just want to know, like, for men in that type of way, like, you got to, I'm single. I'm out here dating. Like, I want to know doesn't matter to me, but I'm just like, what are you spending your money on?
Look,
that was a big wad.
But at this point,
it doesn't matter, but it's just, and I know it's probably happening today for real in real America.
Absolutely.
But it's just crazy to know that you would pay somebody
to inflict that pain amount on them.
To sit there and go through that.
Yeah.
While you are just.
It was so sad. He was literally it was very sad, but this was a very powerful scene as well.
This was so powerful.
It was very powerful because Caroline, even though she was just a friend. Now, mind you, they've never done anything. I think they're the one couple that haven't done anything sexually.
They were just a little intimate.
They were a little intimate, but it was more on an emotional level and not really on the physical part, which is deep still, but it wasn't on the physical like everyone else's. And the fact that a year later, you haven't heard from this man, and she basically said that I haven't heard from you since then.
I'm calling your ex-wife. I
had to swallow my pride and call your wife to find out where you were. Like that alone, Caroline, kudos to you for even swallowing your pride to even do that.
A lot of women can't.
Yeah.
But to know that she played the black woman's role so well.
Yes, she did.
Because it's a black on black love, but that's just how we are. We come in, we are strong.
You heard us.
We can take care of it. We look past that.
Yep.
Baby, you better than this. You can do better than this. This is not about you. This is not of you. This is a defensive mecanism.
Yeah.
Like,
and she gave him a little taste of his own medicine too.
Oh, that was good.
So you think you're the only one who can flick plane? Let's go toe to toe. Since you clearly thinking, since you thinking you're the only one who can do this. Let me show you what a real woman who can really go head to toe with you can do. And that kind of sat him down for a second and made him like, hold on, let me chill out, let me listen to her. And she just basically said, look, I'm your friend. I see what you're trying to do. You're trying to push me away, and I'm not going to let you. You've done it for a year.
Yeah,
I'm here, and I'm not letting you do this to yourself. And then she actually exposes that she actually did love him. That she felt for him, and he was like, "Wait a minute, what me?" And
then he brushed it off and kept it moving.
Yeah, but again, she had to literally break down. Look, the man that I met, this is not you, and whatever your circumstance is not an excuse for you to fall back into these ways.
Yeah, it's just so deep and dark. And you know what else it shows? When he gave his life to Christ. Mm-hmm. Y'all know how this finna go. Just give me 2 seconds to preach.
Preach, dog. Preach.
When he gave his life to Christ, no matter how much he let everything else go, God never left his hand. Even though it worked inside of Caroline.
Period.
God came up in that room in the form of Caroline and told him, baby, I'm not going to give up on you.
Period.
This time is up.
I got teary at that part. The moment she said, I'm not giving up on you.
I hope you had a great time, but you have done the best that you can do, and now I have to intercede and get inside of this. I don't care if I have to use Caroline to come up in here. You out of here. You getting out of here.
This is done with.
And baby, that's how God is. So for everybody out here who feel like you out here falling and you just can't get out of it, you just feel like you just in a cycle and you just feel like you just can never get out of whatever that is. Baby, God knows when time it is. I don't care if it's a year and a half later like him.
Yep.
He's going to come.
We all go through stuff. But he intercedes when it's time.
Give me some.
He intercedes when it's time, baby. Period. He knows when the timing is. And the timing is always perfect.
And then he pull himself out of there and he speaks to that person who was being used. So that way everybody get a testimony. You feel me? Like, that's how much... Lord, we just thank you right now in the name of Jesus. But Lord...
That was perfect. In the name of Jesus, we know it stopped there.
And it stopped?
Yep, right after that. No, I'm serious.
Hot right now.
So again, and basically she said, y'all, get your stuff. We out of here. We are out of here. I'm not leaving you here to do this anymore.
And I'm
not gonna let this happen to you.
And I think we all need to keep that in mind when we're in our relationships, when people are going, give people grace, man. And
give people
if you can see that it's more than what it is.
Yeah.
Now, some people let them go. But when God speaks to you to be there for that person, just be there, show up, and show out.
Yeah, because she knew that that's not really him, and this is not who he had to be. He was choosing this at this moment because he was hurt.
And it was familiar.
Yeah, and it was familiar.
And
exactly.
It was just the way it was. Because the new life of him didn't work. Yep. So what's the point of that? I can just go backwards.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, okay, and then I guess after this was the last part
of Sensoray getting a call from an art dealer.
She just posted her work online, and she was
it was sold.
Self-affirming, and someone sold her. Somebody bought her things immediately.
The experiment is all up in this.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
And that's all we gonna
say. Cynthia James, whoever that art dealer was, I think that was her name, Cynthia James. You all up in the experiment, honey. We know.
Somebody part, and the new character, Mr. Barista,
is the one who bought it.
You may be the CEO of this whole experiment.
Okay. And whoever he is, he seems like he's in control. Like his demeanor
he was just
very calm and chill, and like he was in control. There was nobody else around him in either scene that they showed him in, so we're assuming that he's like a boss or something. But we are so looking forward.
So high, we can't even end it right, but it ended. We ready.
We ready to know who he is. Episode 4. What's up? Period. We need to know who he is. I need to know.
This has been a great episode, and I really mean it. And I wish we could talk and make it an hour review, but we could have. But we're going to keep it short, sweet, and simple, but we love it. Everything, every character has been amazing, every storyline, and I'm ready to get introduced to this new dude. Okay, so again, one character exits, another one enters. You know, again, kudos to you, Brian J. White. We can't say that enough. You did an amazing job. And honestly, you know, low-key, I think you're still in here somewhere. I hope so. But, you know, maybe not. I don't know. So anyway, you guys like the video, subscribe, hit the notification bell. And until next time, honey.
Until a review of episode 4.
See y'all next time. And girl, get y'all popcorn.
Okay.
Get y'all popcorn because we are ready.
All right, y'all.
See y'all next time, y'all.
Bye.